Hello everybody, it's Ben Cooper from Literacy Waggle, and today we are looking at 5 things that you should say more of in the classroom. Okay, so today's video blog is all about how we interact with our children, and I'm going to give you 5 ideas of the things that you should say more to your children to encourage them to learn better. Number 1, what might the answer be? A lot of the times teachers say, what is the answer? What do you think the answer is? Those questions actually put a lot of pressure on the children that aren't too sure of what the answer is. It doesn't encourage them to just give it a go. Remember, learning is all about making mistakes. By changing that language to might, what might the answer be? They're opened up to answering the question even if they're not sure whether it's right or wrong, because it might be the answer, but then again it might not. But what it encourages them to do is put their hand up, risk take, and give something a go. Okay, number 2 is, have I explained myself well enough? The classic teacher phrase is, do you understand? And if you're a child who doesn't understand in the classroom, after you've spent 10 minutes explaining it, are they going to admit that they don't understand it? Or are they just going to sit there and actually just worry that they don't understand and not do their work? By actually asking, have I explained myself well enough, the ownership is back onto the teacher. And so if a child feels that they don't understand, it's the teacher's fault, not their fault. And so therefore they're more likely to put their hand up and say, actually no, I need a little bit more help with that. And that will really help with the progress of the children. You'll be able to identify any children that don't understand because they don't really understand what you've just been saying. And so you can target those children in lesson. If you put too much pressure on them by saying, do you understand? They're not going to admit to it. So by asking, have I explained myself well enough instead, it brings the ownership back to you and allows the children to be much more truthful about their level of understanding within that lesson. Okay, number 3 is, what do you think? More often than not, when a child asks a question, we give them an answer. Is this right? What should I do next? The easiest response is just to give them the answer. However, if you respond every single time with, what do you think? It puts the ownership back on them. It makes them critically think. It also develops their independence. The classic thing from children is, what do I do next? If you reply with, well, what do you think? They have to then think independently about what they need to do next. They'll go and find resources, they'll go and ask somebody else, and they'll actually become much more resourceful to find out what the answer to their question is. If they say, have I done enough? What do you think? Well, actually, I think I've done enough, I need to do a few more. It gives the ownership back to the child and makes them think. And if you continue and be really, really strict and say, what do you think? What do you think? The children will slowly build that independence up naturally because they'll have to become much more resourceful. Okay, number 4 is yet. Whenever a child says something like, I can't do it, I'm finding this difficult, I'm never going to be able to do it, just stick the word in yet. I can't do it, sir. You can't do it yet. It's that growth mindset. It allows children to change their attitude on that. I can't do it, and so I'm not going to be able to ever do it. If you stick in that word yet, it encourages that growth mindset in the children, and actually again it develops their independence and the resilience, that the fact is that by the end of a lesson or by the end of the week they will be able to do it. It might be hard, it might be difficult, and they might not be able to do it at that moment in time, but your job and their job is to push and keep trying until they can do it. So keep reminding your children that they can achieve by just using the word yet. The power of yet is very important. And last but not least, number 5, the word why. Why is possibly the most important word a teacher will use in their classroom. Why gets the children to reason, it gets them to critically think. And number 5 is the word why. Why is possibly the most important word a teacher will say and use in the classroom. Why develops reasoning skills, it gets them to explain their answers, which of course we know even in the SATs are important. Those reasoning skills and explanation skills are really, really important. But generally, if the children can reason and answer the question why, it gets them to think deeper about any concepts that you're doing, whether it be in English, maths, geography, any subject. You can even ask it in day-to-day basis. I'm going to go outside now. Why? Why are you going to go outside? Well, I'm going to go outside to burn some energy, to have a break. it just gets them to think about and take responsibility of the decisions that they're making and why they're making them. So why is very, very important. So I hope this video has been useful. We release a PD video once a week, or we try our best to. I'm Ben Koo from Literacy Waggle. Please follow our channel to keep up to date with any videos that we release. Also visit our website. It's full of free resources to do with literacy, and there's a blog on there that's about teaching and learning. And please follow us on our social media pages, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, because we often send out updates and